Congrats! You're getting a bonus video from me because I can't stop thinking about this one thing from Wicked for Good that's particularly stuck out with me. So if I don't put this down in writing, I think I am going to burst. For general context, this is not a review of the movie. Act 2 of the musical is very much so carried by the music within it. The same very much so goes for Good and basically the entirety of part 2 of this duology. However, it is still really good and a fantastic adaptation of Act 2 of Wicked. Now, going into what this video is actually about. Now, I haven't seen anybody else talk about this in particular. But in theater, it's a common practice to reuse set pieces or have them double-sided so you can get the most amount of use out of them for the space that they're going to take up. In Wicked for Good, you can actually see this as sets that they built for part 1 are used again in part 2. Some for similar scenes and some for scenes that are brand new. One that everybody probably recognized was Munchkinland, or at least the town they built for it, as it shows up multiple times throughout For Good and the original Part 1. They also reused Munchkinland Manor, but having it set in a different part for Nessa Rose's office. We didn't get a very good look at the office, as it only appeared for a very brief shot at the end of Part 1, when you see the father collapse. You can see the small changes that Nessa made for the office to make it her own over the year that she's been governor. But all in all, it's still very much so the same room and same set that they built. I also love how they use the courtyard in the Emerald City in a couple of different ways to show the progressiveness of how much the Ozians become to fear Elphaba. In the first movie, it's bright, it's wonderful, it's welcoming. They're so excited to have her there. It's a party. The beginning of For Good, it's still a party, but you can see that there's propaganda up now and everywhere. You can truly feel the tonal shift. And by the end of March of the Witch Hunters, it's dark. It's lit by torches. You can hear the chanting, the stomping of everyone as they're angry and scared. It's so perfect to see that in the year's span, how much and how quickly these things can change. But one that snuck under the radar is that first chase sequence where Fiyero is following Elphaba. Those are the same woods that they built for Not That Girl. The two of them seeing each other in the woods where they finally got to know each other now has a whole new memory in it, where Elphaba gets to question if Fiyero really did change, or, well, have a change of heart in the past few years. Also, I do want to mention that I'm very confident about it being a year between, because they do straight up say it in the beginning. People are debating online that it's an undisclosed amount of time between Part 1 and Part 2, but at the beginning of For Good, there's an entire audio section of Madame Morrible saying it's been 12 turns of the clock. One turn is 1 month. It's mentioned offhand in both Part 1, the musical, and the book. So yes, it's been 1 year since the end of Part 1. Them being able to mix in all of these sets that they initially built for Part 1 to use them for Good works really well because they're able to hide it in with all the new sets they built, like Elphaba's hideaway and Glinda's room. It does help that they chose to use real-time lighting cues to allow you to be able to achieve certain ambiance with the sets that they do have and the sets that they are reusing. And it works far better than just having the lighting added in post. With the lighting cues, you don't realize that the woods are the same unless you're looking at the finer details. The real-time lighting cues allow for sets that had such an imposing feel, like the wizard's room, to not feel as imposing the second time they're visited. In Part 2, it felt almost like a circus tent with the rainbow lights all over the place. Even the top of the balloon tower. It's been all boarded up and dusty, like nobody's been there, and nobody wants to be there. Galinda returns there because it's the last point in time she had with Elphaba before everything fell apart, before she lost her friend. You can see that they replaced, well, in-universe, replaced the glass that Elphaba shattered in Act 1 with just a couple of wooden planks. The window isn't even fully covered. I'd like to think that in-universe the reason for that, and the reason for it not to have been fixed, is because the citizens of the Emerald City, well, they can't see up there. They can't see the top of the tower. So why spend the effort to fix it, because it doesn't break their illusion? But I think all of this is what has made this duology so good. It's not worried about making something new and flashy in every part of it. It's taking advantage of movie magic to give the world of Oz just a little bit more magic. If you're considering seeing the movie because you're worried that it's not going to be good, give it a shot. It's not perfect, but given the source material it's adapting, I think they did a wonderful job with it. With that all being said, thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I'll catch you guys next time for a more explosive video. See you then.